Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, November 10th, 2025, here for my weekly cross-stitch update. And as you can see, Smokey's here with me too, enjoying some pets at the moment. I have a lot to share and I'm super excited about it. This week was a fun week, gathering things for future starts, which I have no business starting, but I'm going to be doing it anyways. First off, I'll share my daughter's finish. She finished her little kitty, pumpkin cat. And this is a Shannon Christine Designs freebie that you can find on her Instagram or Facebook. And we kitted it up with perforated paper. And then this is a little frame that has a little baby Yoda that my daughter also cross-stitched on fabric. And that's the official, like, everyday project. So we whip stitched some felt on the back of this just so it can go in here temporarily for the season. And she'll probably keep this up until something else replaces it because it's so adorable. But it looks a lot like Smokey, so we had to do it. So that's really cute. Yeah, it looks like you. So then I got a package from the Fat Quarter Shop with their new releases. They send something like that every little bit. So I'll share those real quick. They have a sewing magnet mate, which is kind of cool. It looks like it's where you can like extendo arm and pick up needles and pins that fall, which is fun. I might actually gift this to my mom or something, or my sister for Christmas, because that could be fun. And a needle minder, the quilty flower, which matches a pattern that I've already confiscated out of this package, which I'll show you in a little bit, called the garden quilt, maybe. So this is going to go on that project. I need to remember to do that. And then some floss drops that are little bobbin looking ones. There's like 20 of them in there, and they have a large hole and a small hole, so you could do a key ring and like the whole skein kind of thing down there, or wind them around, whatever you like. There's some quilts. This is a vice versa quilt with a few different options to do, which is fun. Very pretty colors as well. That's by Lori Holt. And then they have another Hometown Neighborhood. This is the Sheep House by Lori Holt. God rest thy love upon this door and bless our home forevermore. That's a fun one. That's a cross-stitch one. They have another seed packet series, Floxes. I have never heard of Floxes before. So that'll go in my packet with all my other seed packets. Let's put that over there. Breezy is a quilt pattern they have by Jocelyn Ewing. That's fun with the stars kind of randomly placed there. And Foxtrot, which is an Itzo Emma chart. Very fun. So those are fun. And then there was one more that I have taken out and kitted up. As soon as I saw it, I was on their like Instagram or emails or something. I'm like, oh, I like that one. I want to do that one. So it came in this packet of stuff. So I kitted it up along with some other things that I was on a kitten up frenzy. So that last pattern is Garden of Quilts, and I thought it was so pretty. So it's got spools of thread with flowers growing out of them and some more flowers at the bottom. I just loved it. Super pretty. So I kitted it up with willow, 25 count Bee Stitch Me fabric, and fancy flosses that are similar to what it's called for. So I don't know exactly when I want to start this. I don't necessarily have a spot for it in my rotation, and I don't really want, it's not something I want to leave out ongoing for a long time. It's one of those projects that I just kind of just want to do and be done. It might make a rotation in my travel stitching. It's a little on the big side, but I have time now sitting in the car. So it wouldn't be like a doctor's appointment project, but so maybe a car project in the future. And then while I was kitting stuff up, oh yeah, so this needs to go in with here, with this. because this goes with that project. Isn't that fun? So I'll add that to that. And then there's a few things I'll be starting soon. I'm not sure exactly when all of these are going to get started, but Winter Cookie Party will be started in December because Kim Hollenbeck mentioned she wanted to start it, and I have it. And I was gifted this pattern by Catherine Needleberry Stitcher, and I knew she had been wanting to start it too. She recently had a big finish. Go check her Instagram if you want to see that. So I thought, well, maybe she'll have room in her plans to start it now, because we were thinking of starting it last year maybe, and it wasn't right for either one of us. So I'm like, okay, I'll hop on. I decided to crop this pattern significantly. I like it, but I don't necessarily want to stitch the whole thing. So I'm cropping it down 73%. So this is Winter Cookie Party by artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'm cropping out to just have parts of these center 3, the cocoa, and these 2 plates of cookies. And I'm fine. That's all I want to stitch. So I'm gonna stitch it on Vintage Country Mocha in 40 count, 1/1, half cross, so it'll be real small. And I think I might actually do it on the plain side, because that's gonna be really nice for full coverage 1/1 stitching. So I'll cut off a little piece of this to do that on. And then that glass castle pattern I bought last week, 2 weeks ago. I am kitting that up with 25 count wheat, 28 count wheat Lugana, and I'll probably do a 1/1 full cross with this one. Yeah. So that'll be fun. I don't know when I'll start this one. This is another one that I'm like, I don't know, but I want to start it sooner rather than later. Maybe New Year, New Start. I'm not sure. Then at some point, maybe in this near future, maybe not till my birthday, I'm not exactly sure. I want to start Fun Fair Food, which was going to be a birthday start this year, and I decided not to because I just wasn't in the starting a full coverage piece mood. I am now. This is by Lars Stewart, and this is the Max Colors version, and I want to do everything. This is one I don't want to crop. I was looking at it, is there anything I could crop off? I'm like, no, I like all of it. So I had a piece of 40 count Newcastle in Plain Air that I had set aside for either Winter Cookie Party or Fun Fair Food. Since I'm not cropping this one, I'm going to use this for Fun Fair Food, 1/1 half cross, because these are big, both of these, 625 by 447. So this will help it be smaller, finished size. And then last but not least, I haven't printed out a picture yet, so I'll post a picture here. I signed up for the Haid 2026 Stitch Along, and I'm doing the Wise and the Brave. I originally hoped to do the Dragonfly one called Glistening Wings, but I wasn't super happy with the mock-up. I think I would like that one in a bigger version, like with more details. So of the mock-ups available, I liked the little bird and owl one the best. So I'm going to do that one on the 25 count pewter and probably 1/1 full cross. And I may crop this one a little bit as well, cropping at least outside the edges of the birds. I like all of it, but again, I'm not sure I want to stitch all of it. Terry from formerly Terry Lee Crafts, now Absent Minded Stitchers, she's going to crop it to like the branches. And it's a fun crop. You'll eliminate the owl's tail feathers, so I'm still not sure which way I'm going to go, but I do like her crop. It kind of emphasizes their chubbiness, which is really cute. So I'll be doing that one. I'll probably be starting with the robin, the page that has most of the little robin on it, and that's the page I will focus on to finish in 2026 to get the free Amy Stewart exclusive chart. That's still a mystery. That chart has not been revealed, but it's Amy Stewart. So likelihood it will be great. So that's what my goal would just be that one page for this coming year, but it would be fun to have it not be super huge to eventually finish it at some point. I think, oh yeah, there was something else I kitted up. and have already started. So let's jump into travel stitching. My travel stitching has been extensive, so here we go. This is my first one that's I like to start with. Books of the Bible by My Big Toe. I got my 1 strand of floss in it this week. Brown, more words. This is a 1/1 full cross on a 25 count bee stitch me in Through the Stones, called for silks. So I finished Obadiah, did Jonah, and started Micah, and that's how far my length of thread went. That's always a fun one. Kitty's right here next to me. So nice. Purring and happy. And then my regular travel stitch has been Roses of the Seed Packet series by It's So Emma. I'm doing, I don't know how many, this is maybe the 6th one I finished, but I got it done. And here's this one. These are all on 25 count bee stitch me sand dollar, 1/1 full cross with fancy flosses that are close to what's called for. And so like I mentioned last week, I'm going to be shifting, starting now, to keep one of these on hand for appointments, taking my kids to the orthodontist, or if in the spring semester we have like an honor band concert, well, wait in line for an hour outside, and I've stitched on this in line while I'm waiting for the concert to open. That sort of thing, where it's easy, portable, stick in my purse. I'll keep one of these on hand all the time. And this next one is Asters. I'm doing them in the order they were released. So this is the next one. And I picked flosses. The greens and browns and blacks are all the same in all of them, the ones I've picked. And then the flower colors vary depending on what I have in my stash. So I actually had this one. This is Lavender Louise, that's the called for. And then this is just a different one in my stash that looked good with Lavender Louise because I didn't have the one they called for. This is Honeycomb. No, this is Queen Bee, but it's similar to Honeycomb, and which is what's called for, and it's something I used in 2 other flower centers, so it's kind of ties into the whole grouping. So have a piece ready to go. So this one is not started, but they're easy to start. So whenever I need this, I think next week my daughter has an orthodontist appointment, so at the very least I'll start it next week for that. So possibly I might pull it out that morning so I get the first stitch in so when I do take it with me to the doctor's office, it'll be ready to go and I can just have my thread started and just keep going. So that's probably what I'll do. My larger travel piece that I'll work on while I'm waiting for my kids to get out of school is now going to be Counting Puddles Songbird Serenade, which I showed last week. And I had bought this like a year or 2 ago. I'm going to stitch this one for my pastor's wife, and I'll put a verse at the bottom, which I'll chart out. And I haven't 100% decided which one I want yet, but I'm not there yet because I like to start at the top. So I kitted this up in my kitting frenzy with ice, 32 count ice Murano by Artiste, and I'm doing it 2/2 because there's lots of backstitch details and stuff, so I didn't want it to be so petite that the ratio of all the embellishments would be weird and off, because Counting Puddles has a lot of that stuff, and I wanted to make sure that was highlighted nicely. So I got a great start on this. It's not a lot you can tell what's going on yet, but this is the 32 count Ice Murano even weave, 2/2 full cross. I started up in this corner because the center didn't really have anything going on, so I just counted over and started in the corner, 2 lengths of floss of that thread, which is very close to the fabric. You can still see it, and it's meant to be blendy. And then I did a length of the purple. This is the beak, actually. So this is going to be all the music note background that it's singing, and this is the top of the bird's head. And then the wing and everything, there's some flowers. I'll head this way before coming down. I have this head color on my needle right now, so this was 2 days in, you know, full days waiting for my kids. I get a lot of progress. So I'm excited to see this progress. Most weeks now I should get like 4 days a week with this much time. Tuesdays I usually get very little time, maybe 5-10 minutes. And sometimes Thursdays I'll have less time, but I think I might have my full time on Thursdays now too. So it just kind of varies at what if they have an after school event or if I'm waiting in the middle of like all the people at the end of the day. So that's that one. So I'm excited to work on that. So hopefully I'll have that finished in time to gift to my pastor's wife in January. So that's the goal on that one. Another one that I started and kitted up is the Festive mandala stitch along, I think is what she's titled it, by Vonnie Thread the Needle Designs. I will link her Etsy shop below. I mentioned her stitch along last week, and she actually came out with the listing in her Etsy shop is live now, and the border is available. So if you purchase it now in November, you can go ahead and get started on the border. And then during December, she'll release a little portion of the main design every day, December 1 through 25. And then you'll have, if you can keep up on it, which I'm not sure if I'll be able to, I hope to, then you will be done with the whole design by Christmas. So that's kind of the plan for that one. I got started on it. So originally I was thinking I could maybe convert it to fancy floss, but then she ended up, once I got the full floss list, I saw that she had shades, like 3 shades of this color and 3 shades of this color, 4 shades of this color, which is a lot like a Mirabilia, which you don't want to mess with the shading, and they blend nicely that way. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stick with the DMC and, you know, don't mess with the good thing. I'm kitting mine up with 32 count raw silver Belfast 2/2 full cross. So this is the whole width of it, and the border was released this simple. This is the extent of it. And I'll probably try to finish the whole border here in November, because then I'll have, you know, structure to work off of to put the center design in. So I got a good amount done on this. It's now 30.59% of the border is finished. It goes into Pattern Keeper, so that's fun. And I'm excited. So it's black and some jewel tones. It's not traditional Christmas colors, it's more jewel tones, which is really fun. And I thought the sparkle really made it extra festive. So I will hopefully keep working on that this coming week and weeks here in November, so that once the sale starts on December 1st, this border will be done. That'll be nice. So thank you, Vonnie. That's fun to be a part of that. And then I've been doing my daily 30 projects have been chosen with the Flosstuber Frenzy game. So I have chosen 7 Flosstubers who post roughly once a week. I've discovered since I chose them that one Flosstuber is trying to post twice a week, and another Flosstuber probably won't, maybe every 2 weeks. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. And I'm only doing it for the month of November, and then I'll switch and do something else later. So because it's only for the 1 month, I wanted to pick people who are relatively consistent. And so it's been fun to, when you see a video, one of those 7 pop up in my feed, be like, oh good, I get to work on that project again. So I started out behind because I started it on the 1st. I didn't get to stitch it all on the 1st. And 3 people posted on the 1st. So I was already a little bit behind. I think 2 people posted that Sunday, the 2nd. And so I've been kind of chipping away at it this week, and I got caught up. I'm currently caught up. I have 1 more to do who posted yesterday, which I'll stitch on today. So that's perfect. If I stay caught up and there's days that I don't have, somebody hasn't posted a video for me to work on, I will work on that mandala border, the Festive mandala stitch along borders. for a 30-minute chunk if I don't have a Flosstube Frenzy project to work on. So that's my plan for that. So the first day, on Monday, I worked on Floral Alphabet by JBW Designs. This comes out when Carolyn over at C's Stitch posted, and I also worked on this on Saturday because she posted on Saturday as well. So the one on Monday was a catch up from the previous Saturday, and then the current Saturday I had time, so I went ahead. This one got two chunks since you've seen it last, which is really fun. The first time I got 90 stitches, and the second time I got 88. So now it's at 23.46%. And this is a 28 count Demicel linen by Picture This Plus, and I'm doing it 2/2 full cross with some silks for you that were given to me. They're kind of random silks for you, threads of the month and different things. But I'm picking out where the letters will be blue and the greenery will be green and the flowers will be pink. So, and I manually recharted this to be in Powder Keeper, so now I can track my stitches, and I already have decided where all the color is going to go, so now I can just stitch, which is really great. This is the edge of the design. The H is now finished, and this motif is mostly done. I started the G. I was just, once I had a color on my needle, I just kept going until the thread ran out, and then went back to the H to end up finishing the H. So my 2 sessions got me a good amount of stitches. So, or not a good amount. I guess it was like 180 roughly. More than I had before. So that's a fun one. I enjoyed that one. Then I worked on Cats in the Rain. By Madame Chantilly. And this one got a lot of work this week because I worked on it for a catch-up 30 minutes from Anne, the Max Color Stitcher, from last Sunday. Then I worked on it during my call with my sister, and I worked on it again this Sunday for Anne's latest video. So this one's caught up, and I have a lot of progress on it. So I'm so excited. 303 stitches on Tuesday, which is both call stitching and a 30 minutes because I didn't want to jip it the 30 minutes, and I went ahead and did more than my call. And then I did it again on Sunday for 97 stitches. Here is this one. This is a 40 count vintage Misty, 40 count vintage Stormy Night. And it's 1/2 full cross. And it's now at 49.46%. So it's almost 50% done. I worked a lot on the coat and these kitties while I was working with my sister. I worked on the kitties. They're done. Even their whiskers. I think the whiskers are the only back stitching in here. And then I worked on filling in some coat with the 30-minute chunks that I did. So one length of thread is about what a 30-minute chunk will do, and that was great. So, which is about 100 stitches-ish with these dense blocks of stitching. So that's so exciting. That's a fun one. And then I worked on Cupcake Dreams for Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. And hers is the one I have to do today, so I'll work on this again today for 30 minutes. This is a Tilton Crafts chart, formerly a freebie. Now you can find it as part of a compilation of a bigger cupcake chart. And this one is, I got 96 stitches on it in that half hour. It's now at 95.87%. And it's a 28 count Jubilee in like a mint green color, 1/1 full cross. I'm working in getting all that pink. There's 2 colors left. So the color I'm currently working on and then one more color. So I love the shading in this wrapper. It's coming out really nice. There's more stitching, obviously in the cupcake wrapper, but there's still in the strawberries a little bit more and just a handful in the frosting and stuff. So it's coming along though. I hope to finish this year. This is a goal for sure. And then I worked on My Story. This is by Jeanette Douglas, and I kind of want this done this year too. At first I'm like, nah, there's too much going on, but I have it for Terry and Joe at the Absent-Minded Stitchers, which now I'm realizing they are planning to post videos twice a week, which is not a bad thing because this needs a lot of attention. This is one of those projects that it takes longer than I expect to fill the space. A lot of the little motifs in these chunks are 1/1, so that's like extra time. And so I'm not mad that they're posting more. This is great. And it will have a 4-day rotation in December for WIPGO. So I'm thinking I should try to finish this year. So they actually, I had a catch-up amount for them. And then that very day, I think they posted their second one of the week. So I went ahead and did a whole 1-hour chunk on Thursday. I ended up having time to do a whole hour all at once, which was great. So I got caught up on them all at once. So this is a 32 count. I think it's a lamb's wool linen. If there are regular cross stitches, they're 2/2, but there's a lot of, specialty stitches and 1/1 and all the things. So it's just a lot of stuff. So it's really fun. I do like specialty stitches. It just seems like it's taking longer than I expected. Probably because of the little motifs that are fiddly and some of them are 1/1. So it just is a longer process than I expected. I thought I'd blow through it a lot faster since this first column went so quickly. But the other ones are more involved, let's say. They're not hard, they're just more involved. So I finished the snowflakes, which have some Kreinik blending filament in there, along with the fancy floss that I chose for the blues. And then there's the start of there's a lighthouse. So there's some satin stitches in the lighthouse, and then my time ran out. And so hopefully this week, I'm assuming they'll post again, I'll work on the lighthouse, finishing that up, and probably another symbol in here, motif in there I'll work on if they post a second time. So that's fun. Then I worked on Let's Get Spooky for Charlene over at Flights of Fancy Stitching, and I'm working in the kitty cat to get the black done. Didn't quite get all the black done, did a lot of it though, and so all I have left with the black is this Hocus Pocus word right at the bottom. And then I think there's obviously there is some more black in, I think, this side of the moon and the face and spiders down here. But of the kitty cat, I'm almost done. So 1/2 hour of this one, and it got a good amount. Oh, I think it's in here. I might have gone over a little, I'm not sure. To finish my string, that's entirely possible. This is on a 32 count Sleigh Bells by Live and Die LA. Cross stitches are 2/2 and back stitching is 1 strand. So fun. This is very enjoyable. I got all the back stitching words and different things in here stitched up. So now next time Charlene or Morgan posts, I will stitch these words, and then I can like play with the pumpkin and stuff. That'll be fun. And some more greenery and things. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is one that doesn't have to get done this year, but it's not that big. So if I run out of things to try to finish, this is definitely on the short list. And then, then I did Floral Alphabet again, which I already showed you, but I also pulled out Secret Garden for Leanne Stitches. And this is the one she ended up, I think she was posting more regularly earlier in the year, weekly, but now she's down to every other week, maybe even less if she's got a lot going on. So we'll see. We'll see how often this comes out. But I'm not married to finishing this year anyways because it's so springy, but it is a fun one, and it's now over the 50% mark, so it is definitely on the short list as well to finish sooner rather than later. So this is Historical Sampler Company pattern. It was a stitch along, now it's all the way out. I'm stitching mine on a 28 count mystery green by Live and Die LA, 1/1 full cross, using the called for DMCs. So I did 91 stitches, and they were all here in the vine. And I think a little bit of this I had to frog and put back because I did it wrong. When I came down here and was lining it up to the berries, it was off. So then I had to go back and find where I went wrong. And I think I had one extra stitch like in there. So like, all right, fix it. I'm usually more of a fixer than a fudger. I will sometimes fudge, but a lot of times I usually catch things before they're a catastrophic amount of stitching that needs to come out. So I'll usually just rip it back, unpick it, and then restitch it. So it's not too bad. So that's a fun one. Get a little bit more done on that. And then Cats in the Rain was the last one. So I think that's all the Flosstube Frenzy stuff. For sports stitching, I worked on well, I guess I'll do Crazy Wonderful Owl Family, because they played, the Broncos played on Thursday this week. So I was able to do this early, and we had a very low scoring game. So I actually finished it, I think I finished it during the game. Yeah, I finished it during the game, all my stitching that I needed to do. So this is a Crazy Wonderful Owl Family by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's the no background version, and I'm stitching it on 28 count Glacier Lugana, which is similar to the background. So we got, where is this? 10 points. So I did 100 stitches and then put it away and was working on my main piece for the day instead. And this never came back because they didn't never get any more points. But we eked out a win. It wasn't pretty, but it was still a win. So this is where this one's at now. Only 100 stitches. And it was all in, this is 1/1 full cross, and it was all in the mama owl's head there. So not a lot, but every little bit counts. So we'll play again this Sunday. Hopefully we'll get some nice stitches. Hopefully we'll get another win. This past week and this coming week are both divisional games. So they're very important games because you want to ideally win your division so you can get a seat in the playoffs pretty easily. But so currently we are winning our division. So let's stay up there, shall we? All right. So, and then for my college basketball team, they had a tournament this weekend. So there were 2 games this weekend. I think they ended up losing both of them, sadly. But the first one, when they lost in overtime, so that one was a higher scoring game. He is Risen by Donna Gelsinger. Heaven and Earth Designs is the one I'm doing for that. And I'm stitching the background in half stitches, which is the main thing I'm working on for this challenge. The cross, the words, and the hill will all be in 1/1 full cross to be crisper. But I'm doing the half stitch sky at the moment because it goes really fast. And I didn't want to add a whole lot of stitching to my plate. But this is a fun way to kind of make progress on this without too much commitment. So here's this one, and it's, like I said, 2/1 half cross there in the sky. And they had 90 stitches on Friday and 55 stitches on Saturday, and I stitched them both in one session on Saturday for 145 stitches. It's now at 1.23%. So I believe it was all just in here. So yeah, slowly but surely. And this one will keep chipping away like that, 1 stitch per point. With the Broncos, I'm doing 10 stitches per point because they don't have quite as high of scoring as basketball does. But for basketball, I'm doing 1 stitch per point. So it's an even thing. And these are half stitches, so it goes even faster. And that's just enough for me. It's just perfect. So main stitching, I have a lot this week. So my gift stitch for this week was Lollipop. And I did horrible on Monday. For some reason, I didn't have a lot of time on Monday. I had to take my son to the doctor, so that took up some afternoon time. So then I didn't get as much time in the evening. This is by Tilton Crafts, artwork by Denise Garbus. This one's for my daughter. But on Tuesday, I made up for the lack of stitching on Monday, and I got a lot of stitching on Tuesday. So I did 689 on Tuesday for a total of 758 half crosses, which is super fun. This is now at 14.34%. This is 1/1 half cross on 40 count Verdal in white. So I'm just working in the sky, filling in a bunch of sky. Once you get into a section that's like got a lot going on, it's really easy to get numbers pretty quickly. I did a lot of the lighter colors kind of through here as well, which goes slower because there's a lot of counting and there's not that many in a chunk, but then you end up with some bigger chunks there too, which is fun. So yeah, there's that one. Kitty. Then my Whipco piece for, the first Whipco piece for November was Colors of the Seasons, and the second Whipco piece for November was Colors of the Seasons. So I had this one slotted Wednesday and Thursday all month long, and I knew it probably wasn't going to take the whole month. I was kind of hoping I could do it this week. So when I didn't get it done on Wednesday and Thursday, I was thinking, well, I'm so close. I just want it done. You know, you get that to that point, you just want to finish something. So I ended up working on it again on Friday. Still didn't quite get it done. We had a lot going on Friday. And so I needed to do a little bit more on Saturday to get it done. And so I decided, you know what? Rather than just squeeze in a little bit of my main project, Empress Eugenie, and shortchange it, because I was planning to give that project 2 days, Friday and Saturday, I figured I'll just swap them. I'm going to go with this focus on a finish feeling and just change my plans. So I went ahead and continued on Colors of the Seasons. And this week now, instead of Colors of the Seasons, their Whipco slot, I'm going to work on Empress Eugenie on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So that's kind of my plan. I just swapped it. So Colors of the Seasons 2, Serenita di Campagna. I found this on 123 Stitch, and it's so cute. I was working on this one. And they have their, I think it's Italian, but they have English, I think, and French available, charted out for you to put your words in your language. So I got it done, guys. So here is this one all finished up. And I'll do the before and after of the spring portion. And this is a 27 count Linda in Vintage Country Mocha, 2/2 full cross. So it's bigger than some things. I could have done a 1/1 on this fabric, but they have, you know, back stitching and a couple places where they had a quarter stitch here and there, not too many. So I figured it needed to be over 2 on something. So it's so pretty. And there's the summer and autumn, which is the one I started with, and winter. So that's exciting. Yay! At this point, I'll probably just put it in my finish portfolio. At some point, it may end up as a throw pillow or something, or a wall hanging. I'm not really sure. I'm not huge into fully finishing anyways. I just like the stitching process. So that's exciting. That one's done. And yeah, so on Saturday, since I did have a little bit of extra time after that got finished, I went ahead and started the Festive mandala stitch along border on Saturday. So that was nice to get that started. And I did a little bit more of that on Sunday too, to get that first corner finished. And then stitching shelf, because I had, I was caught up on Flosstube Frenzy. I didn't have my football stitching to do because I'd already done it on Thursday. I went ahead and got a lot of time on stitching shelf, which was great because sometimes my seasonal Sunday pieces get the short end of the stick. So it was nice to spend some extra time on this one. This is the Max Colors, but regular size version by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing the autumn shelf here in the month of November. So I finished the red that I was working on, the one color red in this book, and then I came over and I'm doing some black above the dog, and then I'm like, I really want to do more of the dog. So I did a couple shades of color in the dog too. So here's this one. I'll show you the whole thing and then I'll show you. Make sure it's all in there. This is a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. There's the autumn shelf, and I am doing it 2/1 half cross. And so I did 464 half stitches. It's now at 4.81%. So I finished the red in that book. There's a tiny bit more on the top. There's like a band of gold or something in the book, but the top was very scattered and counted a little ways to it. So I'm like, I'll just be done. Then I came over here, I did 1 length of black and then a couple shades of the dog just to kind of keep filling it in. Next time, I'm not sure. I still have this for a couple more Sundays. So I feel like I want to do something over here to kind of fill that out more, but I might want to work on the dog more. We'll see. This looks very empty. So I think I want to do like stitch the border over to the edge and maybe do something on that end. So that might be what I do next. Because this one is a fun one where you can just poke around and work on something. Everything is touching something else nearby, so it looks scary, like I'm counting all over the place, but I'm really only counting short distances every time. And I'm double checking as I get to a new area. I'm like kind of, triangulating myself again and double checking it. So far, so good. Okay, so that's all I worked on. And my plans, because I won't show any of them now because it's going to happen next week and the week after that. But since Colors of the Seasons was called twice for WIPGO this month, it had 8 days and I only needed 4 of them and 2 of them got kind of bumped up to this week. So next week's, this coming week, I will work on Empress Eugenie again. I'll put my before picture here. I didn't want to bring it when I hadn't worked on it. So this is what I showed you last week. It's my starting point on Empress Eugenie by Golden Kite. I could go ahead and show you the cover page. This one hasn't been worked on in a couple years, so I wanted to give it a couple days, 2 days instead of 1, just to kind of give it some extra attention. I'm taking the top 2 pages off and 1 page over here. I'm just not doing. So I already have a little bit of this girl started and some bushes and stuff. So I'll be working on that this week. And then the WIPGO slots, my Wednesday and Thursday slots later in the week, later in the month, I mean the 19th, the 20th, 26th, and 27th includes Thanksgiving. So who knows what'll happen that day. It's a busy day. Instead of subbing out another Focus for a Finish piece, I'm going to use those 4 days to get caught up on my Great British Baking Show stitching. Because the season is now done. We had our the finale was on Friday, and I haven't stitched on that stuff in a couple weeks, and because I just haven't had a room for it with all the other stuff I'm doing. So I thought that's a good opportunity to use those 4 days as catch-up days for bake-off stitching. So I'm excited about that. Next week, I'll revisit some of those whips. I don't know how many you'll get through, how quickly I'll get through them all, but I've got like, a length of thread for the different things that happen throughout the last few episodes. So I have some stuff to do. So that's what I'll do next week and the week after that. So this week we've got the Empress Eugenie. That'll be Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. My gift stitch for today and tomorrow will be Beachcomber. I'm still filling in this text box, so that's probably all I'll do, and I may work on this later in the week as well for a phone call with my friend. So this one will hopefully get some attention this week. Here is where this is at. This is a 40 count linen in raw, natural, something, 1/2 full cross with fancy flosses that are close to what's called for. So I'm stitching, just filling in this, and I do enjoy it when I'm kind of popping, stitching around the letters. It is pretty fun. So I will enjoy working on that, see how much I can get filled in. There's 1 more row of letters, so when I get closer, I'll probably stitch that first and then keep going. I don't know if I'll get that far this week, but that's what I have planned. So this is a fun one. And then my 2 pieces I'll work on at the end of the week that'll be just trying to touch everything in my whole whip list at least once this year. My technically non-full coverage that I'll work on Friday is Butterfly Cat. It's from Heaven and Earth Designs, but it doesn't have a background. So it's technically not full coverage. It's very close though. And I'm stitching it on Nessie, 28 count Nessie by Picture This Plus, which I thought matched the green, tealy green in the stem pretty nicely. This one doesn't have a lot of progress. It's quite large, so I'm hopeful to get some stuff done on it. Just has a little bit of the kitty started here. So that's where I'm starting at. It's 1/1 full cross. And so I am doing my typewriter, and this ear was the top, but you can see there's a few stitches out to there, and then this comes down to like here, really pale. So once more is in there, it'll be more obvious, but yay. So I'm excited to get some more attention to this one. This is a cashel linen too, so it's a little different than the even weave. It still works though. And then the full coverage that I'm gonna work on Saturday, hopefully, is Flower Garden, which is one of my largest ones. It no longer holds the largest project title. I think Magic of Christmas might be my largest one now, but this one is very large too. And this one I might end up cropping. I haven't officially done it in Pattern Keeper, but I think I'm gonna crop off like that much, which is just skin, not skin, white dress and stairs and ground. So I think I'll do it like that, just below her basket area. So yeah, I'll make that decision now, actually. I'm gonna crop it. So I'll do that this week before I start playing with it. So this is by Emil Vernon, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is a 28 count Rose Monaco, 2/1 half cross. And there's my starting point. And I haven't worked on this in a while either, so it'll be nice to give this some attention. Just a lot of flowers and things in the background at the moment. But I'm picking symbols along the top, so that's probably where I'll focus on. That'll be nice to get that out. I think that's all. Is that enough for you? Ah, that's fun. I'm happy with that. Lots of fun goodies to work on. So if any of you have a plan or know of people who are starting either Glass Castle or Garden of Quilts or Fun Fair Food, I don't have specific times when I'm wanting to start those, but I want to start them sooner than later. So let me know. I will hop on other people's plans or coordinate with you to work on something. So I might do one of them. I also really want to work on this, this one I bought from Paint Free Crafts when it was being retired. Where is it? It's called Unlikely Friends. And I was thinking maybe I'll start it when I finish Bear Time Stories, but it's so cute. I wouldn't mind starting this sooner rather than later too. I didn't kit that one up with fabric, although I have stuff I could do it on. So that one too, that's an option. So yeah, I have just whenever spots in, that are possible, or like New Year's New Start, birthday start, which isn't till September, so it's a long way away. But one of those might end up just being a birthday start. So anyways, let me know if you have any interest in starting those with me. That'd be fun. And yeah, other than that, I hope you have a wonderful week and happy stitching. Bye.